Welcome to Em.Powercoaching. Discover how to reinvent yourself, find self-empowerment, and live a more positive and fulfilling lifestyle. Em.Powercoaching combines mental and physical fitness to help you connect the dots to unveil a more confident, energized, and empowered version of you. So, if you're ready, let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Em.Powercoaching with me, Emma. So we're on part 4 of the Self Love series, which has been going on all the way throughout the month of February. Reason being because February is the month of love. We've got Valentine's, love is in the air. And if there's ever a point where we can really take some time to reflect on our own self-love and self-care and self-respect, then what better month than February, right? So it's quite often that we will go through life putting other people first, sharing our love and giving our commitment to others and really overlooking our own self-care. So I like to use February as a little reminder to bring that all back, to kind of put your individual self first and to think about how maybe you can, really put your self-love and respect first for a little while. Because at the end of the day, if you are going to love anyone else, you have to love yourself first. You are the most important person, first of all, to show love and respect to. Once you've done that, then you can go on to spread the love with whoever you want. So, today's show, we're going to be talking about self-development. So, like I say, this is the 4th one in the series. If you've only just joined me on this podcast, then I definitely recommend going and checking out the other 3 episodes. The first episode, we were talking about how to use exercise for self-care and respecting your body. Episode 2, we spoke all about nourishment and how to nourish yourself with the right nutrition. And then episode 3, we were talking all about well-being and how to look after your mental state. So today we're talking about self-development, and what I mean by that is basically how you can develop in a positive way, how you can work on yourself as a person, and just try to do the best that you can to be the best version of you, for you and only you. So with regards to self-development, we're going to be looking into the world of using affirmations. So you may have heard of affirmations already. You may already have a great general idea of what they are and what they mean. Or you may have heard of them, but you have no idea really what it's all about and what it means. So we're just going to have a look into using affirmations, have a little discussion around them. Maybe you can see if it's something that you want to explore further, or you might just come out at the end of it thinking, you're talking a load of crap, I'm not asked, and move on from there. Take it as you will. Before we get into the show, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has shown me support with the new Embodied launch over on my Instagram page. So for those of you who don't know, I recently launched Embodied as an add-on service to the Em.Powercoaching, and it's really all about expressing your self-confidence and representing you as a unique individual. And the quick win ways of doing that are through things like expressing yourself with perfume, expressing yourself with makeup, and just allowing yourself to be the best version of you in the way that you want to do it. So for me, when I wear perfume, I instantly feel confident, and that is how I like to express my confidence. And I just do that on a daily basis. I don't save it for a special occasion, because why wait? Why not make the most of every single day that we've got on this planet? So thank you for everyone who has gone over and checked that out, and who has even bought some things through the website as well, which the link is on the page over on Instagram. The Instagram page is Embodied Empowered, so you can go and check that out. And again, thank you for your continued support and reviews and sharing of this podcast. It means so much to me. I started this way back last year on the first lockdown. Got back to work. Things have been a little bit hectic, opening and closing the gym. Because if you don't know, I am also a gym manager, as well as a PT and health coach. So it's been a bit of a crazy year, and to be honest with you, the podcast kind of got sidetracked a little bit. Going back into these other lockdowns, I've been able to pick it back up, and now I've found a way to be able to keep up with this and to be bringing you content on a weekly basis. And so it's really great because I just love doing it. I don't get paid for this. This is just something that I just love to do. I'm passionate about sharing what I've learned with other people and helping other people to, really find and develop the best versions of themselves. It means so much to me. And so just to do this as a hobby, but then to also receive such amazing feedback and support from you guys, it makes me feel great. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's get into today's show. So we're talking all about affirmations. What is an affirmation? So if you don't know, the most simplest definition that I could find is this. So the definition of an affirmation itself is the act of confirming something to be true, or is a written or oral statement that confirms something is true. So how do we use that with regards to self-development and using affirmations ourselves? What exactly do we use them for then? So as you know, it's a statement that confirms something to be true. So this is used with self-development as a way to promote self-confidence and to believe in your own abilities. Quite often with self-confidence, when you're lacking in self-confidence or you have very low self-esteem, it tends to stem from these core beliefs that you have about yourself, about just not being good enough or not having the abilities that you believe that you should have, that you're not perfect. No one is, by the way. And it's having these really negative core beliefs about yourself, and it's these beliefs that are built up over time, that you find certain scenarios and experiences along the way which confirm to you that these beliefs are true, and they just build up and up and up and up and up until they are just solid ingrained beliefs. They're core beliefs. So what we're doing with affirmations is we're trying to rewrite these core beliefs that you have gained somewhere in your lifetime and that you have built up over the years, and we're rewriting and we're challenging those beliefs. So for example, you might have a belief that you are just not worthy enough of being in a relationship with someone. And this might be that you just don't feel like someone wants to be with you because you can't give your love and your support to another person. You might feel you're not worthy of a relationship because you don't think anyone's going to be attracted to you, whether that's looks or personality. You may have built up this core belief from somewhere that you're just not worthy of having a loving relationship. Now, that core belief has come from somewhere. That you're not born with that. You don't come into this world with that belief. That has come from an experience and something that has happened somewhere in your past life. So to really work on that, it could mean that you're going to have to do some digging, and you're going to have to really go back through your timeline and try and work out the exact point of where this belief has come from. And then once you've found where that core belief is from, there's going to be certain little things that happen over time that are going to build on that are going to affirm that belief in itself, that is a true belief that you've had. So for example, maybe you were rejected at some point. So there's this guy that you're talking to that you really fancy, and when you're younger, you're doing a little bit of texting and you're on Tinder or whatever it is that you did back then. And, you go to message this person and they reject you straight up in your face. Okay. And maybe they even say something as horrible as, I'm not attracted to you. I think you're ugly. I mean, that guy ain't worth it. Okay. If he said that to you, he ain't worth it anyway. Tell him to F off. But that could be that point in your life that has created that core belief about yourself that you are not worthy enough of a loving relationship. And then as time goes on, there can be certain scenarios and further experiences that lead on from this, that add on to this belief and make this belief seem more and more true as we go on. So maybe, something happens again where, I don't know, you go speed dating. Oh my God, is that a thing anymore? Speed dating. I've never done it, but actually I might have done it at university once, maybe. Anyway, maybe you went and did some speed dating, okay, and the guys had to choose from 3 of you, and you're not one of the ones that are chosen. That would then be an example of something that would add on and that would affirm that core belief that you have about yourself not being worthy. So I don't really know how realistic those examples are, especially at the minute. I don't think anyone's going speed dating right now, but it's just to try and give you an idea of how a core belief can come about, and then how certain things that happen throughout your lifetime can affirm that core belief and can make that seem like it's real. So hopefully you're understanding now that you weren't born with that belief. Something happened to make you think that way, and then it's just added on and added on, which also hopefully can help you to realize that there are ways that you can actually then turn that around and create your own beliefs, that you can actually challenge that core belief and you can start to try and believe in something else. You can choose to think and believe in a different way. And that's what using affirmations is all about, and creating your own affirmations. It's about rewriting and challenging those core beliefs that you currently have about yourself, those negative core beliefs. So a statement from the Helpline website with regards to affirmations and what they are, it's about creating a mental image of yourself doing something, like a nerve-wracking interview or conquering your fear of heights by bungee jumping. This activates many of the same brain areas that actually experiencing these situations would. So by using a positive affirmation, you're creating a mental image of yourself doing something. And just that act alone, creating that mental image, that act alone is almost just as positive and beneficial as doing the experience itself is. So regular repetition of affirming statements about yourself can encourage your brain to take these positive affirmations as factual. When you truly believe that you can do something, your actions often follow. How powerful is that? Already, I imagine a few of you listening to this are like, wow, okay, there's something in this. This is truly powerful. My problems sound like they can all just be completely eradicated and completely disappear away. I don't want to piss on your bonfire here, but it's not magic, okay? These daily positive affirmations are not magic. You can't just simply talk your way out of a negative core belief. Because for one, it depends how deep that core belief really goes. If it's something that has started a long, long time ago and has been added to on a regular basis over the years, like what I was saying earlier about the rejection, then you cannot just simply talk your way out of that belief, and it's certainly not going to happen overnight. That's going to take some serious work and some serious digging to really find out where that core belief has come from. Why do you have that belief about yourself? And then, it's going to take a lot of rewiring and reworking around to come out of that, because you're talking about years and years and years and years of having this belief. So a simple statement is not going to just suddenly change that overnight. However, the reason why I'm saying that actually doing affirmations is a good thing is because it can certainly be a stepping point in the right direction. And for some people, affirmations do work. They do completely rewire the brain and the thinking of a certain core belief. And it just depends on what that core belief is and how ingrained it is into you already. So when you're thinking about using positive affirmations and using these statements to rewire your brain, it's really important that you make them unique and you make them purposeful. So you could say, for example, a positive affirmation could be something along the lines of, I appreciate what my body does for me each day, and I keep myself in good health with regular activity and nutritious foods. Now that's a very realistic affirmation if you are doing that. So if you are actively, making sure that you're having good nutrition on a daily basis, that you're doing regular activity, then yes, that is 100% realistic, and that will probably work for you. But if you're using that same affirmation in hopes that it will make you to start doing activity and that it will help you to start being a little bit more mindful about your nutrition, then it's not going to work. It has to be something that you are doing now, or that is a realistic daily activity that you're doing. Affirmations shouldn't be used as goals, okay? It's not about reading out a statement because that's a goal that you want to have, because that's a way that you want to start being. It's about challenging your core beliefs and what's true and what's not true. That's what it's all about. They are true, factual statements. So they need to be unique and they need to be purposeful as well. And very much realistic to you and to your individual self. Okay, so whatever your friend might be using, you might have a friend that's using positive affirmations, and you might say, okay, well, what do you say? What do you use for you? It doesn't matter what they say, because that's unique to them. That's going to work for them. It's not going to work for you. Okay, so being consistent as well with these positive affirmations, very, very important. Like I say, this isn't a magic pill. You're not going to start doing it and all of a sudden your negative beliefs are going to just disappear. That's not how it works. It does take some time. You do have to put in the work, and so you have to be consistent with it. So a lot of the time people will start up these new habits and think, okay, so I heard this gal talking about using affirmations on a podcast and I thought I'd give it a go. You do it for, let's say, 7 days, you do it for a week, and then that's it. You give up and it's got boring and it's become tedious. That's fine, if that's how it is. If you've had enough of it, you can't be bothered with it, you don't feel like it's working, then that's fine. But affirmations only work when you're consistent, because again, going back to what I said earlier, your negative core belief that you have about yourself, about not being worthy enough, that has come from years and years of experience and talking yourself into that being true. So just 1 week of trying to talk yourself out of it, it's not going to work. Okay, it might work for some beliefs, but for ones that have been there for a long time, it's not. So you have to be consistent. It's really, really important that you try and do this if you can on a daily basis, and that you try and stick at it and do it every single day. And that's how you're going to be able to rewire the brain, or try to rewrite that core belief that you have. So when you're using affirmations, it's also really important that you try and keep them in the present rather than talking about your past or talking about your future. So using them for your goals. So when using a positive affirmation, when you're staring at yourself in the mirror, if that's a way of doing it, we'll have a talk about that in a minute. But when you're saying that positive affirmation about yourself, it's really good to try and use it and keep it in the present tense rather than talking about something that's already been and gone. Reason being, because these want to be true statements that you're saying, okay? So if you're talking about something that's already happened in the past, then relating to that and connecting with that and believing in that statement is going to be hard to do, because that past experience that you're trying to connect to at the time, you believed that to be negative. So trying to go back to it and make it a positive is going to be very difficult. Again, it's the same kind of thing with the future. So when you're trying to use a positive affirmation as like goal setting, so saying something like, I can succeed in that job interview, I will get that job. Okay, it's not really it doesn't work in that way. Okay, it doesn't just suddenly make that happen. There are things around that, and that's called the law of attraction, and talking about staying very positive about things that are going to happen in the future. But again, that's a completely different subject that we're not going to dive into. What we're talking about here is just about the affirmations, okay? And using them in a present tense to try and create a more positive mindset for yourself. So let's say that it is to do with a job, and being able to, try and feel a little bit more positive about applying for a new job that's come up, or going to do an interview. So you might, for example, be feeling really anxious about an interview, and your current core belief is somewhere along the lines of, I'm so terrible at interviews, I'm probably not even as qualified as the other candidates, and there's no way that they're going to hire me, so I might as well just leave it and not even do the interview. That could be a current one. So you're talking yourself out of going to that interview because of this belief that you have about yourself that has come from somewhere. So a positive affirmation to try and rectify or rewrite that core belief would be to really think about why is it that you even thought about applying for that interview in the first place? There must be something there that has made you think that you do have a shot. So it's affirming to yourself what it is. So that might sound a little bit like, I have all of the necessary skills and experience, and I'm the perfect candidate for this job. Because you are. So yes, you might think that you're terrible at the interviews because that's what you think about yourself, but and you might not be as qualified as the other candidates, that's true. However, you do have the necessary and required skills and experience for that job, to apply for that job, and so therefore you are the perfect candidate for that job because you do have the skill and experience. And that's what you need to focus on. It's not about how good or bad you are at the interviews. It's not about other people who are possibly applying for that interview and whether you're good enough, whether you're better than them or on the same level as them. It's not about that. It's you do have the skills and the experience for that job that they are asking for in the job ad. And so, yes, you are a perfect candidate for that job. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with that. It's picking out the realistic points and bringing your focus round to that and making those points stand out. So again, some of your core beliefs may well be something that's happened a long time ago in your past life, and they've been added to as you've gone along and as you've grown up and grown older, and you've gone through these different experiences with different people in your life. And so it might well be that you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper for these. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. And affirmations, they set you on a good starting point. They set you on a good path to positive thinking. But it might be that some of these core beliefs are just going to need a little bit more work. And so it might even be worth considering some therapy and some cognitive behavioral therapy, so CBT, where you go and you speak to someone about these core beliefs that you have about yourself, and you allow this person to help guide you all the way back through your history, through your past, to pick out those points of where this core belief might have come from, and to really tear it apart and really challenge that belief. And if that's really something that even deserves to be in your thoughts. So yes, positive affirmations are a great starting point for you to try and rewrite and rewire your current negative beliefs about yourself, but it's not a magic pill, and it may well be that you have to go a little bit deeper and you have to actually dive into potential therapy to really pick it out. It just depends how much of an effect that core belief is having on you. So I just want to make that really, really important. However, definitely on a sort of more relaxed approach, using daily affirmations, really good for you to try and just start promoting a positive mindset. So if you go away today and you want to go and start having a go at this, maybe start with 1 to 3 positive affirmations that you can use a day. So pick out 3 areas that you would really like to work on. So it could be with regards to your confidence, and with that you need to get specific. So you don't just stand there and say to yourself, I am confident. What is it that is making you feel less confident? What is it that really drags your confidence down? There's got to be something there that makes you feel like you're not confident. What is it? Is it that you that you don't feel like you are pretty enough, for example? And then work on that. Make your affirmation specific to that. So once you've got your 1 to 3, then it's how do you actually practice them. So you want to set some time aside. Like I say, it's really good to be consistent with this. I think that's how you're going to get the most out of it, doing it on a daily basis. So is it going to be that you do the first thing in the morning? Is it going to be maybe that you do it last thing at night before you go to bed? Or just finding some time in the day where you can do it, but try and find a time where you stick to it and you can almost schedule it in as a daily practice. So for example, for me, I like to do it in the evening. So if I'm having a wash, so I'm in the bathroom, I've brushed my teeth, I've had a wash, and then I might do my affirmations then and there, because that's a schedule that I'm going to do on a daily basis, and I can just fit that in real quick at the end of it before I hop into bed that night. Another way to practice affirmations, so the key really is to actually say them out loud, is to voice them and to speak them. And it's gonna be really uncomfortable the first time that you do it, but that is a good thing. If you're saying that positive affirmation out loud and you're feeling really uncomfortable about it, that's a good thing, because that means that you previously just did not think that about yourself. That's just so crazy and weird to think about, that it almost sounds stupid saying it out loud. And that means that it's something that we potentially need to work on. So Yes, it'll feel a bit weird, it'll feel a bit awkward, but stick at it, really do stick at it, and try and just push that awkwardness away to one side. So you're talking out loud, and then for me, it's really important that you believe in what you're saying, and easier said than done, definitely. When you're saying them out loud, not only is it going to feel weird and awkward, you will still have some very you're going to have some doubts around what you're actually saying. So you'll be saying it out loud, but in your head you'll be thinking, oh my God, this isn't even true. So one way to really try and connect with that, if you can, is to find a mirror when you're doing it. So again, if you're going to do it in the bathroom, this is what works for me. I'll go to the mirror and I'll stare in the mirror and I'll look myself in the eye. Stay with me, bear with me. Look myself in the eye, and I will repeat the affirmations out loud whilst looking at myself in the eye. It's so powerful doing that, because it just really brings it true and it brings it to light, and you are so focused on what you're saying at that point. Again, it's going to be so uncomfortable to begin with, but bear with it, stick with it, give it a go, at least give it a go. Okay, you might be listening to this now and thinking, hell no, am I doing that? There's absolutely no way that I'm going to do that. Bit too crazy. But please, at least just give it a go before you judge and make that opinion. I guarantee you, your opinion will change 100%. And then if you can stick at it on a daily basis, just watch how you start to very slowly change and adapt to this new way of thinking that you have about yourself. I mean, how amazing is it that we can just sit and think all of this negative stuff that we feel about ourselves, that we have the potential to change that we have the potential to rewire our minds, to rewire our way of thinking, and to go, do you know what? I don't want to believe that negative thought about myself anymore. I don't want that to be something that I think about myself anymore. I want to start thinking like this. I want to believe in myself in this way. And if you can actually do that and you can actually change that, how amazing is that? You're already on the way to an amazing future, an amazing way of just self-development and really appreciating and loving yourself. So there we go, daily affirmations. Have a go. Let me know how you get on. Again, just stick with it to begin with, 1 to 3. Let's start slow and see how you go from there. Now, if you want to explore the world of affirmations a little bit more, I'm going to leave some links in the show notes, just links to pages that I found really useful to dive a little bit deeper into the world of affirmations and how they work, and just learning a little bit more about them and getting your head around how to actually do them as well. So those links will be in the show notes. I'm going to leave it there. That's this is the last one of the the self-love series throughout February. But on this last episode, what I really want to say is, just because we've come to the end of the self-love series and it's the end of February and it's the end of the month of the love, don't let that just be, and now we go back to putting everyone else first and not caring about yourself anymore. The whole point of these 4 episodes is to give you a little bit of a kick up the bum, a little bit of a boost, a reminder that every now and then we really do need to take some time out for ourselves, to put ourselves first, to show our bodies and our minds how much we respect and love ourselves. And and it's just that little kickstarter. That's really what this is about. It's using this month as an excuse to be a kickstarter. But I don't want you to suddenly then push it to one side and forget about it. Let this be something that you continue with. And it might not be something that you do on a weekly basis, but hopefully we can start to build some habits in there of where we really start to think about ourselves a bit more and how we can really look after our own health and well-being. Because self-love is so, so important. I would put it up there above anything else, above your fitness, above exercise and nutrition, everything. how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, your self-respect and self-love is number one. And let that always be number one. So thank you for joining me on this journey of self-love. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you again for sharing this podcast, for sharing it with your friends, for sharing your experiences with me, for letting me know, what you're getting out of this, because again, I'm doing this for you guys, so it means the world to me when you actually let me know how this is impacting you and changing you for the better. It really does. If you have any questions or any ideas for future topics that you would like me to discuss in the upcoming podcast, then you can send me an email at Em.Powercoaching@gmail.com. Also, hop over onto my social media page, come and connect with me, come and see who I am, put a face to the name. And my Instagram page is Em.Powercoaching UK. I've also got a Facebook page as well, Em.Powercoaching UK. I'm probably more active on Instagram, so come over there if you can. All the links will be in the show notes to my social media pages, my contact details, and also anything that I've discussed in today's show as well. Thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.